Alright, making a video. Kind of depressed. Really depressed. Anyway, people. Impossible to deal with people. And, whatever. Life is just really stupid. Especially mine. So, it's gonna be a long video. So, it'll be a part 5 or 10, 15, whatever. On the other website thingy, I'm just gonna ramble about a few things. Yeah, there's nothing. I got nothing to say about the anti-bullshit man, pajama flipper, Karina thing. It's just fuck these people. I mean, it's just so stupid. I mean, circumcision is about as important and critical an issue to the human race as bubblegum flavors. I mean, this is just. There's just the where's the. Like I said, where's the huddled masses of circumcised men saying, oh, I've been so deprived? I mean, this is just a delusion in some people's heads that there's some kind of horror existing here. And then when they start now in just worrying about the well, whatever, the whole baby trauma bullshit is just so silly. So anyway, there's just, compared to what babies go through in the first 2 years, circumcision's the picnic. But whatever, there's just fuck this shit. So anyway, moving on. Yeah, To Be Serious went all wacky again. I don't really get it. I mean, she asked questions, I answered the questions. I said, yeah, I'll go look at your stuff, and I'll go find some more stuff. But first, I'll just answer the questions from what I know now. At this moment, and that somehow was an appalling thing to do. So I don't. And so she makes a video saying, "Leave me alone, leave me alone, don't." And it's like, what is this crap? If you make public videos spouting a philosophy that I think is brain poison, I have a right to counter-argue it. So if you want me not to put To Be Serious down, like this is who I'm responding to, fine. I can say Kathy the Wacky. I can do. You tell me how I'm supposed to. I don't care to interact with you. I'm just going to respond when somebody makes a video that I think is complete crap. I'm going to respond to it, and not even if it's complete crap. If it's suggesting something that I think is misinformation. So anyway, I did go toddle off and look at her scientific documentation of whatever it is she's attempting to demonstrate, which is still, to me, a little bit of a mystery. Apparently she believes that there's some kind of kernel of evolutionary brilliance inside of us that shines and says, be a sparkly good thing. And, like somehow we have like some sort of little good gene that's trying to get out. And it's just crap. I mean, human beings can be magnificent, but the only way they're going to do it is with intelligent thoughts. Intelligent thoughts have to tell the human being that they're a fucking asshole, a selfish beastie. And the only way to be productive in this world is to not be a selfish beastie, is to recognize that all the other consciousnesses are important. They all need feeding and caring for. That there's no, it's really bad if a guy is sitting homeless in his own, puking urine on the sidewalk, it might as well be you, butthead. And so to walk around it or over it and ignore the problem is not a good idea, because if it was you, you'd want somebody to fix it. You stupid bastards. So yeah, I don't think that is totally an unhopeful description of our circumstance. We can clean up a lot of the messes here. I mean, obviously, the end of the philosophy is that it's all for nothing anyway, because we're just caught up in a dumb maze, or we're just in our little squirrel wheel, and we're running around in circles, and we're going absolutely nowhere. But we don't even have to go that far. We can get to the first step of getting that far, which is to recognize that, yes, we exist in a puddle, a pool, an ocean of sentience, and all the little feelings are all important. Your feelings aren't special feelings. They aren't the, God's special feelings. No, they're just another little package of feelings. And you have to be aware of what you're consuming and what the implications when you pull a lever in a voting booth. How much suffering are you creating as you're pulling that lever? You got to be aware of this shit, assholes. So anyway, Yeah, that's the bright side. Right, that was sort of bright. Well, anyway, so among her piles of scientific documentation is this video by a guy called Raman Dandran. Ram. So anyway, I'll play his half of his video. I mean, the first half was insensible, and we'll just see what the second half is. I'm pretty sure it's going to be insensible, though. But let's let it roll for the fun of it, right? And then we'll go into the baby crap, and then we'll maybe conference reports 3 hours from now. I might get to him. Sorry about that. I know you really don't need to watch this crap. So maybe I'll make a separate video. I don't know what I'll do. So too bad. I guess that's what I'll say. I'll just say too bad. I don't know, whatever. I'm going to hit the button now.
The fruit fly sticks out its proboscis looking at a red apple. Okay, so let's assume it has color vision. It probably doesn't, but let's assume it looks at a red apple. It's almost a reflexive. Obviously, it's creating a representation of the apple. It has to because it's neural signals. It's not copying the apple. But then, after the representation comes the tongue or the proboscis flicking at the apple. Okay?
Well, actually, fruit flies in their relationship to an apple is they're injecting eggs. So, I don't even know where you're going with this.
And then it consumes parts of the apple. This is a caricature, actually, because they probably do it through smell. But let's assume for the sake of argument.
Yeah, well, no, they do it through maggots, actually. Their little babies eat the apple. They really don't eat the apple.
Visual impulse goes in and they stick out the proboscis. I claim it has no qualia. Okay? And there's no point in saying it has a raw awareness of the sensation of red or apple. It doesn't. For you, on the other hand, the apple evokes tempting Eve, baking an apple pie, keeping the doctor away, eating. It's got thousands, in fact, virtually infinite. Or if you're Newton, hey, it's falling, makes you think of gravity. Maybe that's what holds the solar system in place. So the implications are potentially infinite. And this is uniquely human. And this
Oh, wait a minute. So what he's saying is the idea of associating things with things and events is uniquely human, and it's some kind of qualia stuff. It's qualia. So we have a new word now, apparently, that this is what humans have. They have qualia, and gorillas don't have qualia. And it seems to me a pile of crap, right? I mean, dogs will associate their food dish. You know what I mean? You can take their food dish somewhere else and hold it up, and they'll know what it is. They'll recognize people. They'll have they'll remember who was good to them and who was bad to them. This is silly. I mean, associations exist in animals without language.
I think it's a set of circuits in the brain. Another point I would disagree with is the notion that there are neurons, qualia neurons, or consciousness neurons. Crick says this playfully, just to be provocative. But some people take it seriously. I don't think there's any such thing. I think that when you're doing reductionism, there's the appropriate level of reductionism and the inappropriate level. So, for example, when Crick talked about the reductionist basis of genetics and heredity, Watson and Crick talked about this. The correct level was, it turned out, they were lucky, was the DNA molecule, the double helical structure, and the genetic code. If they had studied quantum mechanics and tried to discover the genetic code at the level of quantum mechanics, they would have failed. So similarly, to understand consciousness and qualia, I don't think you're going to understand it at the level of single neurons. You're going to understand it at the level of circuitry in the brain. But I don't think there's the entire...
Yeah, so he's saying there's a basic structure, that has to exist that does this, that creates this illusion of consciousness. That you have to have enough brain to be able to, brain parts or pieces or whatever, this interaction that creates this illusion, this projection of a feeling.
The brain. That's important. It's not the activity of the entire brain. It's specific, fairly circumscribed structures. Okay? What are those structures? So that allows you to home in on the problem. And I think you need to understand the problem of self and the problem of qualia, and they're two sides of a Mobius strip, or a coin. You cannot understand one without simultaneously understanding other.
Self and qualia. So, I mean, he's just, well, whatever. I guess this is some of this self-awareness crap. And they've decided that when they cross this self-awareness line, wherever this line is, that you become qualia. So yeah, they're just making crap up. Yeah, obviously there's a difference between a retarded human being and a not retarded human being, and you can definitely see a difference. And even though the retarded one is just information deprivated, you can see that there's a difference in how it's experiencing life. Not, but part of that difference just means that there's more processing going on. That there's maybe this the more, I hate to say educated you become, the more complex the thinking process is, the slower it is, and therefore the more tangible the feelings become, or the emotions, or whatever it is that you're experiencing. There's a savoring of it, or a torture of it. You're more capable of being tortured, and you're also more capable of savoring it, of